Welcome to Mindset U Podcast, your source of mindset education. We aim to provide you with free, valuable education for you to thrive. Enjoy.
All right, guys. Welcome to the Mindset U Podcast. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to talk about the physiology behind being a man or a woman. So we're going to do this while we're working out, or at least moving around a little bit, just to create that physiology so that we get into that space. We're going to be covering what it looks like to be a man, or what it feels like to be a man, what it feels like to be a woman, or what we may interpret or empathize to the best of our abilities. And then how does that influence culture and our belief system? So, hope you enjoy. But, oh man, this is going to be a fucking awesome podcast. You want to know why? Why? Jay's here. Oh yes! We're recording. We should have another mic, bro.
What's going on?
Am I interrupting right now? No, we're doing a podcast right now.
I was in the area. What's up?
We're talking about what it feels like to be a man.
That's a loaded question.
Yeah. So, how you doing?
I'm good. Enjoying this new lifestyle.
What lifestyle?
Switching fucking man. No. New job.
What's in your job?
So I'm working for a logistics company, a shipping company. Basically, what I do all day is just track container ships. It's fucking easy. It's great.
Yeah.
It's busy all day. It's great. I get to work from home. It's fucking fun. So I took a little break. It's like, okay, fucking go outside. It's nice out. And
So you're out of the news.
I don't do something. 2 weeks.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Told me you were fed up with that.
Yeah. It got to a point. I wanted to do the cameraman thing for a long time. And then doing it felt kind of dirty.
Why?
So we did one story not too long ago where this girl in the Bronx she was killed leaving school. We were like firing down the block and she got hit. So I was a cameraman for a story, and basically they wanted us to go door knock on her family, on relatives' doors to get comments, and it was literally the day after the shooting. Like there's still blood on the fucking cement. And and I'm literally with the reporter in the projects, and we're knocking on family members' doors to get a reaction. And we finally found an aunt who was leaving her apartment, and I just didn't really enjoy it. It's different writing because you have that barrier, you're separated from it. But then it's like to see these poor minorities go through tragedy and then get used. So that's like we got a touching part right here. It's like fucking monster, bro. And that was it. That right there, I was like, I don't think I'm meant for this. I was like, I can be real fucking cold when I want to be, but I was like, this isn't for me. And I just immediately started looking for a new job.
So, can I ask you a question about that? In the thought process of before, you said like having the barrier of writing it,
Yeah.
right? Because you used to do editing and writing. Yeah. So now being on in the field,
Mm-hmm.
how was that different in your physiology, in your state, in what you were experiencing?
I'll explain it this way, right? It's like watching a fight and being in a fight. You watch a fight, you're like, I can do that. I can take a punch. And then you finally get punched, like, oh, I don't know if I like this. Like, I don't really, everybody's different. I think if I truly love journalism, I'd have a different view on it. But I know, I'm just good at it. And that's why I did it. And I just noticed, like, the last month, like, I was doing it for like a little, like 2 months, and I was like the last like 3 weeks of it, like everybody was like, yo, your aura is fucking different. And I never believed that. And then, but like when my girl mentioned it, she was like, you just don't look happy when you're by yourself. She was, I've never seen you like that before. She was like, usually you just you love being by yourself. And she goes, I see you staring at the fucking wall. She goes, it's weird. And I was like, well, because I'm not happy doing what I'm doing. You know, there's certain things about it that I like. You know, I like being able to fucking be outside all day and stuff like that. But it's just like it was between that Brooklyn subway shooting where they're like, go to Brooklyn and figure it out and go sit outside a hospital and film everybody who comes in. Nobody was there from the shooting. I'm just filming old people get wheeled off a fucking ambulance into a building. And it's just, it wasn't personable writing, and it's even more impersonable when you're out in the field and stuff like that. And it just wasn't, I don't love it enough to fucking do it. I didn't like doing overnights. There's a whole bunch of things I just didn't like about it. I didn't really like the morning crew, the people that I worked with. They were like old school Italian dudes who get that so racism, like, you're a good one. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? You know, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm fucking happy I got out of it though. It's a nice release. It was also something that I wanted to prove to myself. Like, I was like, oh, okay, I can do the camera thing. I can do it. I figured out I can do it. And now it's just like, well, why am I doing it? Am I doing it because it's the only thing I fucking know? And I was like, oh, this is where I can make some extra money doing it. And I was like, all right, now I'm making more money, but now I'm even less happier than I was writing. I was fucking miserable writing. So I was like, all right, so money's not the motive, you know. And yeah, and now having this pretty much fully remote job, it's fucking sweet. I have time myself. I can go to the gym in the morning, go to the gym at night. I can hang out with my girl. I can take the dogs. I can do errands. I can do this. I can do that. And I think with the pandemic and learning, I think that's what really came down to with the pandemic and being like, oh, okay, I'm working from home now. I was like, I could have been doing this forever, and it didn't hinder my job. And then like, oh, well, we need you to be in the office. And it's like, why? You don't talk. I can literally go a whole day there. If I do my job right, not a single word to a person. And that's amazing. You know, so I was like, why? Like, oh, well, some people work better. I'm like, some people. I'm the best you got. You don't need me here. Yeah, that's how you guys doing? Yeah. He's thinking of an answer.
I'm exhausted. We were just talking because I haven't slept well in the past 3 days. And
allergies, everything?
So, no, the previous weeks, it was the kids, you know, suffering all night. Now, this past week, it's been like, all of that stuff is good. And I'm just like sleeping in the super light sleep where it's like,
everything wakes you up.
Yeah, like my wife be like, are you awake? I'd be like, apparently I am, because I'm able to answer you right away. Like, I thought I was asleep, but I'm super conscious and aware, so I'm not like resting. And then last night,
it's like newborn sleep.
yeah. And then last night, like I fell asleep. My wife and I did a meditation to fall asleep, and I fell asleep till 1:30 a.m. And then I woke up at 1:30 a.m. I thought it was 4 in the morning already. Checked the time. I'm like, oh fuck. And then from there, I was just like, you know, I was telling Moses, like, I tried to do another meditation, and I tried to bring myself to that space of like really letting go, and I'll start to doze off into like that sleep state, and then right away recover back and be like, oh shit, I'm awake again, and like till 6 in the morning until I was like, fuck, I gotta get up. Yeah, and I have to be here at 7, so I don't have a choice.
Yeah. No, I hear that.
That's what I was trying to get at before. It's just like when you're so worried about the way that you're going to feel, and then like for like a man, right? You have this like stereotype of a man. You're told that you're not supposed to feel a certain way, right? Like you're supposed to go and do this thing. You still wake up 9:30 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, whatever. So then, as a man, you don't like feeling that way, so then you do everything to prepare to feel the best that you can, which for you is when you fall asleep, when you do all these things. So then you do all of the practices that help you fall asleep, which then only creates more anxiety because you're trying to achieve some state. in the morning, right? Because of the physiological responses, which then gets us to the point. It's like the micro details of what do you actually experience in your body, and how lack of awareness with those micro details influence your decision making as a man, period.
Yeah.
So, like, you trying to feel your best the next morning was the thing that you were creating awareness with, which was the projection of physiological responses that you would feel. So to avoid those physiological responses, you then did all the meditation, created this anxiety within yourself, which then didn't allow you to achieve whatever state. So like for me lately, it's been like that with working out.
Yeah.
So like working out is always like, oh, I want to get back to this place I was where I felt great, where I was, working out, I looked great, I had a lot of energy, I had all these things, right? And I was in shape, I didn't have as much fat. This state of what I envisioned my best version of myself. And then got injured, fucking shoulder, fucking knee, quad, jiu-jitsu, like everything. Just like I was walking at my dad's house, and I got caught on a step, tweaked my ankle. I was running for like a month straight, and I was like, yeah, I'm getting into a flow. Boom, now I'm out for another week. Then I got healed that. I go back to BJJ, fucking pop my shoulder. So then I said to myself, I'm like, what am I trying to achieve? Like, why am I trying so hard? Like, I don't even fucking know. I was like, well, what am I trying to feel? And like, what is the state? Like, what do I want to feel? Like, I just want to feel strong, right? Like, what makes me feel strong? So then it says, like, what does that mean to me? It's like, oh, this is this definition of a man. A man goes and he feels strong, right? But then like that, what is the physiological responses of that? So like, when you think about feeling strong, you think about these like, for me, it's been like the shoulders. My shoulders are always like real defined, and like they feel tight. Like if I hit them, like they're just solid, right? My hamstrings, my glutes, they just feel tight. So like my legs feel kind of like swollen in that sense, or this tightness. So I was like, that's what I'm trying to achieve. I'm trying to achieve that state. So then if I just do something to feel that thing, which is if I go and do a sled and I push the sled for 10, 15 minutes with weight on it, I get that feeling.
Yeah.
And that's all I need to do. I just need to do 10 minutes to get that feeling. If I do that every single day, then the idea is that I can get to a state where I feel strong. And that's been working more so lately than just trying to achieve this like vision of what Moses is supposed to look like, wants to look like.
So that's similar to how I came up with my morning routine, my workout in the morning, which is through that whole experience of like, I've created tons of programs, I've done a majority of them, and it's like, months and months of work, and then you get to a certain point, so like when the days I was deadlifting like crazy, I got into like 425 deadlift and all this stuff, and it's like all of this constantly building up, right? And after a while, it just seemed exhausted. Like I just was tired of it. It was so like same old. But I enjoyed what it made me feel. Just the thought of like crushing the bar and all of that experience. But it's like all this like tedious work is the tedious work and the feeling of how are those things attached? Are those part of the same thing, right? So once the journey itself started getting boring and unintriguing, I was like, wait, but I want this state. And it kind of came to that same point of like, and you know me for years, we'd be talking and just start doing push-ups and stuff like that. So I started thinking of that concept where it's like just time under tension, having my body doing things. Overall, that's what's happening. I'm spending all this time under tension, but following this paradigm. So I started exploring like, I don't want to like make it this whole stressful thing. So I started just push-ups and pull-ups at home. And this was during the pandemic when like mentally I needed a expression, a physical from everything I was experiencing. I was having this anxiety. You remember my heart rate, my resting heart rate, like not that I was in bad shape, just my resting heart rate. I'll measure it. It'll be 130. Just as all the anxiety I was experiencing. This is during the pandemic. Kids are home. I'm fucking being a teacher. I'm feeling like can't put energy into this. I'm showing up as for my kids like an asshole. Everything was just like overwhelmed. And starting off expressing myself physically was like, all right, this is what I know always brings me back. So I started like in the morning, just waking up before the kids. And it was like I was waking up by myself, like not because of an alarm or whatever. I was just like, the house is nice and quiet. Let me do some stuff, right? And typically I would go do like work to feel like I'm being productive. But I was like, fuck that. Let me do physical stuff and start doing push-ups and pull-ups. And then over time it became like, okay, let me do push-ups, pull-ups, and let me do pistols. And then over time it became like, all right, I need to do X amount in 10 minutes. And it was like, this became like month after month. Within 10 minutes, I need to do 100 push-ups. I need to do 30 pistols on each leg. I need to do 60 pull-ups. And those pull-ups were in V-sit position. Just those exercises all need to be done within 10 minutes. It was like, within 10 minutes, I got this fucking awesome workout that I felt like I really expressed myself. And then the result from that was, yo, I'm fucking ripped right now. I haven't been even trying. Yeah. And that was kind of the same thing. It was like, stop trying so much to make it be this thing and just like be.
Well, I think that's because the nervous system just blocks you from getting to where you want to be, right? Because like it knows that you're stressing over something. So like if you're trying to lose weight, then the nervous system thinks that something is threatening you outside in this world because it doesn't fucking know.
Yeah.
So then you're stressed out about this fucking state that you're trying to achieve, and you're doing all these things to technically survive. And of course, all the hormones and signals are gonna keep your body from changing because it's like, no, you're surviving. When you stop giving a fuck, literally just stop.
That's what helped me with fighting. Going into like the last fight that I had, I didn't train the way I trained with the other ones because of work. It was just hard. It was just, when I get home at like 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon after being up since midnight, I was like, do I really want to go and fucking work out right now? Or do I just want to go home and sleep and just fucking be dead to the world? I just want to be dead to the world. And the good thing is that I've always sparred and stuff like that. So this is just a fight. Whoever I'm fighting, I'm going to fight them and it's a fight, and whatever happens, happens. If I lose, I'm not getting paid for this. If I win, not getting paid for this. At least I can fucking have to hit somebody. And it turned out that the kid I was supposed to fight, who was at my weight at 170, dropped out. He was a no-show. So like, oh, we're gonna have you fight one of the trainers who's like an MMA guy. He doesn't really train boxing, but he's 195.
Is that the Asian kid?
No, the white boy.
Oh, white boy.
Well, he's Spanish, so he just looks like he's in Tesla. But he's super aggressive though when he fights. He fights.
Oh, I think I saw that.
Yeah, he fights real fuck. He's the one that broke his nose.
Oh shit.
Yeah. And it just got to the point. Like, he's a showboat. He likes to run his mouth and stuff like that. And I just smile. I'm like, okay. What are you gonna do? We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight, and you can talk all the shit you want, but it's gonna be a lot funnier when somebody who's 25 pounds lighter than you and doesn't work out for a living beats your ass. And that's what happened. He whipped my ass in the first round. He came out super aggressive, tried to bully me and just push me into the corner and just throw hooks and dug his head. I was like, okay, let's start doing uppercuts. And finally he fucking headbutted my uppercut and it just fucking, something just fucking, it was just splatter everywhere. And then from there he was breathing out of his mouth, and then they're like, oh, you want to fight him? I was like, yeah, because I broke the kid's fucking nose and we're not getting paid for this, so like, what's the point of trying to fucking take him out? And everyone's like, so the coaches were giving me shit, like, you should have just taken him out, he talks so much shit. And I'm like, yeah, but I mean, he's a nice guy, and you guys give him so much shit, so I know why he fucking does that, because it's insecure. It's like, he just wants to fit in with you guys. You guys don't really let him fit in. But his way of doing that is talking shit to y'all, giving him so much shit. And I felt bad towards the end of the fight, I'm like, he's still talking shit. I'm like, all right, I broke your nose and you're bleeding all over the place. What do we have to prove now? And I was like, you're tough. You're tough. Congratulations, you're tough. But you're never gonna beat me. And then going from that, and then since then, it's just like training has just been fun. It's just now it's fun. It's just like, why do you put pressure on me? Why are you like, oh, I didn't train as much today. I didn't do this. Just go and fight. Just go and fight. Have fun. Enjoy it because that's what I love doing.
Join us next week in part 2 of 5 as we explore how physical pain can be the most impactful teacher. What does your health, love life, spirituality, career, finances all have in common? Your mindset. Mindset is the source of creating change. To learn how to install these and other life-transforming concepts, browse through our free collection of courses at betheproject.com.